it's time coming at you with another game of Total Warhammer 3. We're here with Skrag. He's so grotesque. He always is. So we're gonna get the long victory pretty soon, assuming things carry on as we do assume. And we're just going to move him forward. And take a nice clean auto here. Greedy Fist is a good item. We'll just see if... Hello, Orange Dude. Watching this during a thunderstorm. Oh no. Okay, so this gives him... Alright, so this is going to give everyone around like a really massive miscast chance. All the enemies. On the entire map. So, really, really big potential payoff there. And we're just going to burn these together to get a blue item and give it to... This is the one that needs to go to Mawcaster specifically. Well, we could... Yeah, I mean, so this will be nice, right? Forbidden Rod does give us spell intensity and power. This would give us more casted Troll Guts, though. We'll give it to somebody else. Do we have anybody else that would use it? He's already got one. Do we have another Slaughtermaster of the Gate? Yeah, this guy. That's right. Hooray. And we're just gonna zoom up here and take Karak Azul. I also hope the power line does not go down. A few months back, oh maybe like 6 now, but the physical power line by my house, so like the telephone pole sort of thing, a branch fell from a tree and fell on it and it snapped. Not while I was streaming, while I was asleep. Which, let me tell you, that was an awful thing to wake up to, because you're just like, oh, guess the power's not going to be on soon. Yeah, and we're just still trying to get him a little more leveled up. We're going to wait a few more turns probably to level guys up. You know, we've got a lot of heroes now, so we can probably afford to do it. I don't think we're at like any breakpoint abilities there. Skrag is at the highest level. We're going to go here to Drakenhof. And now it's time to improve this army, right? This army needs to reach its final form. Now, obviously, we have a couple of gyro bombers, and that's what we want to keep. Can I get a thunder barge yet? Yes. Now, do I need a thunder barge? No. Am I getting one? Yes. This is all I've ever wanted. Now, it may be that the dwarves are going to be the in-game crisis, and we'll have the thunder barge for one glorious day. Do we get some artillery? Because, I mean, like, the thing is with tanks is we could already get, you know, we could already get artillery of our own. But this is, you know, like a volley gun. That's just really fun, right? Because we already have, like, you know, and that's the thing. It'll be fun. But we want the regular tank. We tried the land ship already, and I was like, meh, so maybe I should learn that lesson and not get the tank. In that case, can we get another Thunder Barge? Again, whether or not they're good, immaterial. We can't actually go in from Karak. It's too expensive there. You know, we could just make do with one Thunder Barge. Alright, so we need to get some man-eaters. Do we get Iron Fists or the anti-infantry variant? Or the ones with pistols? They exist, right? You know, the thing is we only have, like, no slots here. We dropped the iron guts for man-eaters, I assume. Just because, you know, the gold's man-eaters are just the better version of that, right? The more juiced up version of those guys. And then you can go, like, you know, lower armor if you want, but we'll go with the armored up cut of them. Probably just like 3 of them, right? And then we'll have them, and then the Gorger flank. Although, with access to summons, no, we've had this Gorgers the whole time. We're going to keep on rolling them. I mean, this army's kind of how I want it to be, isn't it? We could drop the Death Butcher after all this time, and the Bruiser. But no, the Bruiser's so good. The Death Butcher we could definitely drop. Because what does he really do? He carries that item that gives everybody -10 leadership around him. He has to stay. Because Skrag can't carry it. Alright, well that settles it. We're getting a Thunder Barge and some of those man-eaters, and that's going to be our final army's form. We could drop a Lead Belcher and get, like, a man-eater pistol. Would that be good? See, the thing is, I don't know if it would be good. We're going to try it because these are cool, right? And, like, they're still, like, very strong when they get hit. You know, they've got full HP stats. It's not like they're a squishy unit. And I almost am inclined to try to get one more unit of them. And then we can have one on either flank. I don't want to drop another Lead Belcher for it, even though this is a super ranged heavy army. We'll stick with 4. Yeah, this is fine. This is good. We'll stick with this. And this camp is scary stuff, right? You know, it's not the worst thing that you could ever run into, but it's still pretty good. Alright, let's carry on. So Skrag will be up there, not fighting anything with our premier army. That is okay. We will fight some rats. He's going to try to run away. He's not going to really get away. And we're going to have an awesome little knockdown drag out here. We're even going to have reinforcements. How fun. But yeah, we're just going to get to it, right? But I hope you are all right in your storm there, Orange Dude. It's entirely possible that that's the storm that I'm going to be seeing tomorrow morning. Depending on where you are, but we're expecting it. I live in Arkansas, and you know we got a bit of rain these last couple of days, but the weather forecast, you know, I think they do it with mirrors. Who knows how they figure out what the world's going to be like. Alright, so we got 2 Crusher Great Weapons, which are super good on the flank. We're going to hang back and wait for the Dawi to come in at 2 minutes, right? Now we've got all these invisible Gorgers, and they are gonna hang out like over here. Yeah, we're just gonna have them all here. They all have stock. And the Yidis do too, alright. So yeah, we're just gonna put these guys all over here, and they're hidden. And these guys have mounts? No, they don't have mounts yet. So we don't want to send them over there because it could still be sketchy. But we're just going to hang back. You know, this is our anti-Skaven army, which is to say almost no squishy, almost no ranged, you know, only power all the time. So this is going to be great. These silly Skaven aren't going to know what to do. I don't think they know where we are. You know, they certainly know that someone's over here. But once the dwarves show up, we'll be able to move across, get the flank going. Skaven, of course, are going to allow us to do it. Those fools. And we get our smash there. So the funny thing is here that if we can get a bunch of kills here, we're actually feeding this ability a little bit, you know, gradually. It's got to be by him himself to get it, not just nearby. Got it. Anyway, this is one of the meat sacrificing abilities. So basically he gets individual kills, and then you can get reserves per second. So arbitrarily large amounts of Winds of Magic reserves, if you can make it happen. But we're just going to push through here. If you run away from the summon while your other guys charge on, sometimes that can help. You know, that old Skaven corruption, you know, it's a headache. But we're going to be alright. So we're going to be able to cauldron them as well, right? Whenever the most opportune moment is. I was like, did they just get nuked? No, they did not. I don't actually remember if Ikit's forces have a nuke here. That's a bad thing to not remember. I don't think they have it, though, or they would have used it already. Probably. But we're just gonna get to it, right? I think we're springing the trap much too fast. Yeah, we definitely are. It's okay. We're probably going to do this fight before the Dowie even show up. It's all right. We already dedicated it. We're trying to get inside, so that's what we're doing. And here we're just trying to go around the side. You know, we took this fight in the front. We're at least gonna get on the Jizzales. And now, zooming out around the side here, trying to get on the catapults in the back, and then the warp lightning cannons, of course, like, they're more dangerous. But if you get on the one on the side, you know, they're going to start running. That could be helpful. And it'll also be a better line of attack in case they, you know, counterflank like so. And our crushers go right into Storm Vermin Halberds. Oh, goodness. You know, they'll take an attack order. They went right for the thing I asked them to. Man, oh, man. You know, it's okay. The good news is that the Gorgers are having a great time. And really, it's about sending a message, right? We don't even need to do this battle particularly clean, I don't think. And then a good thing, too. That was a terrible cast for this Cauldron ability. Rattling guns are online, but not for too much longer. It's just, there's a lot of the Skaven stuff, and it's just not good against us. And the Eshin Triads are fighting the Edis, and we just souped up their power, right? 83 melee attack and 182 weapon strength. Eshin Triads have a relatively low model count, so that weapon strength won't be that wasted, right? And the plus to melee attack definitely made the difference there. gets them popped. You know, like I said, look, we gave a flank, right? We certainly sent a message. It is that with reckless play, Gorgers, you know, get to hit things. I think we're really seeing that we could probably have less Gorgers and more Iron Guts, because Iron Guts actually do pretty well. But the Gorgers were the things that ran in first. Of course, in Skrag's army, the Gorgers are magnificent. I'm only running a couple because I really want to see how the other stuff works, for one thing. And that's reminding me, we could try to get like a cool like Thunder Tusk thing in there, maybe. I don't know. Because again, at what cost? The Bruiser? I would hate to do that. The Bruiser's good. We've had the Bruiser for a long time. He's got good abilities. Alright, so, magnificent. We're just gonna go to encampment here. We could probably make Brion after the turn here. We're just trying to be, you know, careful. We might not need to be, but look, when you're fighting Skaven, we can't make it there anyway. Why not be careful? Alright, so here, if we drop like a Gorger, right? Because Skrag can summon more, not because they're not great, but because we get 4 each time. Like, why not, right? Yeah, let's... drop them, get a Thunder Tusk, because another big artillery monster is fun. Do we drop the last Gorger? Because, like, what are we getting out of him, right? 15 Fizz Resist, Unbreakable. We've got a Vanguard out of him, but we don't really need that with what we've got now, right? So I guess, yeah, I guess it's totally fine to drop the Gorger now. And we have 4 Gorger summons that are permanent out of Skrag, so it's not like we'll be playing without them. Just, you know, we won't have them as elites. And that's fine, you know. You gotta let them fly, right? Alright, so we could... we could just get another Thunder Tusk on the grounds that they're pretty sweet. Could get another pistol thing, flank control. Abstractly very nice. I do like that. I like having a pistol on the flanks. I like that. And then we'll have... yeah, you know, it'll be an interesting little army, and with, you know, a bunch of units at the top of the line. We'll keep the Iron Blaster because we'll want it to crack walls. I think it'll do a better job of that than the Thunder Tusk. All right, so Skrag will spend some time here. Alright, end of turn. Time to see what they'll do about it. Because we are 3 places away from the great long victory. And I do wonder what'll happen, like, what will the aftermath be? You know, will we play afterward? Probably at least some. Because, like, we could at least go up to the Chaos Waste and have, like, a straight brawl. We haven't fought, like, Norska or proper Chaos at all. And that could be fun. You know, it's basically been Skaven, like, Skaven and vampires. There's a bunch of great vampire fights, too. For a while, it's just been Skaven all day. We need to get over there to start messing with their replenishment there, but at least we've got, you know, Thorgrim here on this front. I feel like they're about to start brawling with Grimgor because dwarves are awesome. No notes. Not possible, possible? Not possible, or is possible. Alright, a cool field battle. Now it'll be, you know, a little something, but I think it should be fun. You know, we'll just run into them. It'll be a brawl. And this time we'll wait to spring the trap later, but there should be like a ton of them on the battlefield, right? Yeah. Yeah, this is a huge force because it's like the garrison plus the army. They'll hang back here for a little while. And there you summon right on top of our guys. Naturally, you know, we just embed our dudes in them and get the expected response. We'll just wear their summons down. And hopefully, you know, convince them through this to give battle. Now, what we want to do is think, where do we want to throw this cauldron? Do we want to wait for a big blob? I mean, probably. Because right now we are just beating up all of their summons, which, let me be clear, is very good. You don't want to deal with them later. They're really annoying. They probably have like 8 of them. This is classic anti-Skaven tech, right? Yeah. And they've done it again. But, fortunately, this guy's getting his bone to pot ability very slightly up. So that's good. Alright, I don't think they have a nuke. Alright, so this guy... No, he doesn't have the thing. I'm like, he doesn't have it? No, that's at the end, their augment. We do have Foe Seeker on the Wizard, which is excellent. We will attempt to induce them to give battle here. Because we'll just, like, start the classic old Thunderbolt life, right? Like, no, hide in the forest, you fool! Oh, it's this guy. What's he doing out there? Alright, so they have Giselles right here. Let's... Oh, they're like hidden Giselles. How do they have the range for this? Oh, because Ikit Claw. 363 range on the Giselles. That's gross. Wow, this guy is a much worse caster than the other dude. I really want to get them walking. I don't want... There we go. I'm like, we just need to get them moving, but hopefully not right here, so they won't see our flanking force. Alright, oh no, oh no. The good news is they're attacking. The bad news is we've got too many of our eggs in this basket, and they are all coming at us. Alright, time to brawl. Alright, the good news is, though, that not all of these infantry are elite infantry. Some of them are, though. Alright, we're just going to drop this on the Rattling guns. No, we're going to drop this on the Storm Vermin Clan Rat Blob. Oh, wow, we never gave him the attack order. That is unfortunate. We're just going to try to bolt over there. They took a ton of damage. And then we will send these guys at the big dude here and try to push through to the back there. And here we're just going to run in the range of Rattling guns. That seems real bad. Shoot at the Brood Horror. The good news is this Hell Pit Abomination is unsupported mainly. The bad news is it's an anti-large fighter surrounded by large creatures. But we're going to get other anti-large fighters on it. And then this will work, though. It'll be fine then. We're going to take way more damage than I wanted to here on these Storm Realm. And yikes, they have 90 models left at 1,800 units, and they're still fighting. Fortunately, these Yeeties get all the way, these are mainly Gorgers, I think, get all the way into the back, proving their great utility. Just feasting over here. We're just gonna push through here and here. Drop another Chain Lightning on the Blob. Once it casts, we're going to hit a Wind Blast too, because we have a ton of winds. We have 80 winds. So it's an absolute party here, right? You know, we're limited only by cooldowns and dreams. And we're gonna heal these crushers, yeah, because they have lost one model, but they've still got a lot left. But what a great fight, you know. Did we perform well? No. Did I have fun? Yes, absolutely. Was this a good idea? Yes, absolutely yes. Because look, you'll hear me say it a lot if you watch much, but like you can rob yourself of a lot of fun by just like not fighting some battles because they're gonna be annoying. The lead belchers didn't shoot anybody the whole time because the brood horror was smaller than the iron guts, basically. Pretty annoying, but we'll get on them. These Yeeties fighting the Hell Pit A-Bomb. Like, pretty great morale to be... Oh, the Lord's 14 for being around. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, very nice indeed. We win. Well, you know. This isn't the very last battle before... the victory is declared. And again, we're probably not going to quit playing immediately because Skrag's army's got to go fight somebody. Maybe a lot of somebodies. But this hunter gets a stone horn, excellent, and this guy took red line. Man, what a way to live. Just absolutely bonkers choices. But one of them got to level 15 and the other one is actually the number 5 experience away. Maybe they'll level up to 15 over the end of the turn with training or something. A Wood Elf Crisis would be funny. It's like, I honestly thought Scarbrand was gone already. Must be holding on. Yep, that's exactly what happened. That dude gets his stone horn. So now this army is a considerable amount punchier with 2 very beady monster characters there that are stealthed to go there. With the Gorgers, you know, it's going to be real rough for the foe.
What brings you before the heir of London?
Like, no, not war.
If you insist, I will help.
And you know, if Clan Angrind ultimately wants to turn their back on us, that's just what the game will do, you know? Alright, one more place. I don't think Skrag's gonna be the one to get it, because we still have one more turn of recruitment there. But that's okay. I almost want to delay it so that if it's dwarves, we get to use the Thunder Barge. There's a wood elf crisis. Is there a high elf crisis? Where it's like, oh no, the Elgi got their act together. Clan Angren becomes a regional power. Huzzah! They're, of course, our bestest buddies. We are the friend of all dwarves. Alright, time for Skrag's army to go have a brawl, right? And importantly, in 4 turns, we'll finally be able to use another camp. Get mass for the armies. Do we have any special buildings to build in these places? That's a lot of money. Yeah, they look like they're about to have a bad time. Belagar is like showing up, right? He has a super crummy army. I bet they're afraid. To be fair, he has a bunch of other crummy armies, and this one, which actually would be super good at killing rats, ignoring the Pistoliers and Outriders, which do not match up super good against rats. Rapunzel de Leonis recently, yeah, got rid of her non-aggression pact with us, but I guess she's mad because she hates dwarves because she's got no taste. No taste in great people.
Challenge me.
Oh man, it's so, you know, Khalida must be super mad that there's vampiric corruption all over the place. Wouldn't fly where she's holding court. What level is she? 16. Man, she's been having a bad time.
Hunter. The prey is out of reach. Leader of the tribe. Slaughtermaster. Led by the Moor. I expect many.
And we win. Huzzah! Oh, it's the Great Wah! You know, this is awesome, because Greenskins are super fun to fight, and Grimgor is strength rank 1. You know, we started, you know, we beat down Gorbat and stuff, so now it's like, right when we deal with this, and then, so they're all gonna, like, jump up right around, and then Grimgor right here, so strong as well. how fun. You know, well, it looks like... Well, Grimgor's all... Yeah, Grimgor's everywhere, right? He's strength rank 1. He's got 41 settlements. So Azog will be able to start up here. Yeah, Skrag, we can just get this going on and then, you know, see what happens from there. How fun. Greenskins are a super fun army to fight against, in my opinion. I mean, you might hear me say the opposite of that once we're fighting, but I think they're great fun. Huh. Special Nobbler place. You know, there's probably a bunch of special ogre places over here in Ogreland.
We're having a feast. I'll eat any challenger. We rest, we eat. I said go. Butcher in chief.
Queek's got to be down to, yeah, just 3 settlements. That's amazing. We're really putting the hurt on them. Of course, we have to continue to do so because once the crisis starts, it's about to be super interesting over here. The reward for winning is, in my opinion, quite mediocre. It's like global recruitment capacity +2, which is like kind of okay because it's like, okay, now you could get like slightly more elite units in an army if you're like, you know, you want to spin one up, but you don't have good stuff in that camp or something. So you spend 6 turns getting your monsters, and then, you know, you push the army out in 6 turns, and that's okay. But like, I would just, you know, not get the cool things instead and try to move it out earlier. Alright, 3 mutant rat ogres, 2 hell pit abominations. This is actually a pretty scary army. And the stuff we have isn't amazing against it. So let's fight. Actually, Billy Belly, that's like the big one. You know, we can actually just go around, right? Yeah. We'll just go this way. They get hurt the longer they sit here, so they might actually come and give battle, and then if they do, then we'll have our, we'll have better melee defense. How appropriate that after dealing with the menaces of the Skaven, the in-game crisis is the other great enemy of the Dawi. The elves, no, sorry, the greenskins. Pop Queek, like most of our dudes have that defeat trait anyway, right? But you never want to let them go anywhere. Fortress is big, Bitter Bay is small, so we'll go ahead and grab... But no, we'll grab Bitter Bay because we know that Queek came from there. And this should be his very last settlement here at the Fortress of Virag. And just in time for us to be next door. To Grimgor Ironhide. Oh, it's about to be a party.
Can you see I'm busy? The runes wait for no one. Have at!
And we're just continuing to... Oh, he's broke. You know, we'll wait a little bit. How are you broke? It's not like we're in a long war.
Ready. Got magic comes first. Today is a good
And like right before the crisis finally happens, that's when we'll, for the very first time, be able to deploy a third camp. Like 100 turns in. I regret nothing. And this is going to be great, though, because it really is perfect. You know, you couldn't basically have asked for a better story. And he wants a non-aggression pact with me. First of all, pathetic. Second of all, interesting. I'm going to go with no, because what if the dwarves want to fight him? And I'm not, like, afraid of him. Hey, speaking of afraid, looks like it's time for a... Oh, my goodness. I think we just take this auto here and lose the whole army. That is so many Hell Pit Abominations. Alright, I do not think we can win this. That is so many Hell Pit Ikit Claw is here. You know, we should just do this battle to see what happens, right? Ikit Claw is here. With like 11 Hell Pit Abominations. Amazing. You know, we're not going to take that auto. Like, what are we? Like, what are we? Are we going to lose these hunters before they get immortal? Maybe. It does, like... We already got the long victory, right? We're not... Oh, this is gonna be... They're probably gonna be over here. Yep. Our big guys don't have Strider, so why would we be in the trees? So the thing about like 11 Hell Pit Abominations is Hell Pit Abominations are really, really good. And that's more than we can probably deal with. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to be able to fight bravely, right? Because our hunters are actually super... Like, I don't know what this storm vermin is doing. This is one single storm vermin coming out here. Is he, like, a spotter? Maybe. But this is legitimately, like, crazy behavior. I'm sure it's elite infantry, but, you know, it's elite infantry, unsupported. That's not how to behave. Is it, like, an illusion? No, they can't do that. Is it just because Ikit Claw doesn't care? Probably. You know, he's still smarting from his last loss. Oh, this dude doesn't even have Foe Seeker. Well, that's bad. And then we'll just run out. These guys have what's called collision attacks, which is super good. You know, it just basically means what it sounds like. It does a bunch of extra damage to the foe when you bounce into them. It's like, we're trying here, but when these Hell Pit Abominations show up, they have super high leadership, they regenerate, you know. And they can also heal. So their Jezzails are inside of the trees. This is the great benefit towards the positioning that we've got here. The Crushers walk right into a huge amount of artillery fire. Do they manage to get the mutant rat ogre down? Oh wow, there's a lot of them in the trees, aren't there? So what Ikit's brought here is like the kind of army that a person might bring, and we're about to see how woefully inequipped I am to fight an army like this. Basically, anytime they bring a number of monsters more than 10, you're just probably gonna have a bad time. So we can try to dive all the way back here to get on the cannons, which, you know, is like, it's a noble idea is what it is. And these guys are just, you know, getting some fire in. Do they try to take out Ikit? Do we go in and try to get him? I must say that I don't think that's a successful strategy. They don't really have that much infantry to punish here. Like, where'd it go? There's so much other action around it, and I feel like charging our guys in here is going to lead to them getting popped. Because that's the thing, is they're super good at killing all the Ogre units. Most Skaven stuff, if you get on top of it, isn't that good, but, you know, Ikit Claw found the secret sauce, right? He figured out what he had to do in order to get it done. But really, we should have been having the hunters in a block trying to isolate targets, you know. The lead belchers are shooting at nobody. This is crazy work, guys. Not a single target you can think of. We broke the artillery at least. However, it's not like we can flank them. Is anyone low leadership? No, not really. Alright, let's just juice the attacks on whom? On this guy. And throw out a nice fight or die. Ikit's still in there having a party, of course, and of course we can't do anything about it. Do we just put these guys up and, like, shoot? I feel like that's a pretty fraught strategy. Our guys, you know, at the very least, we know they regenerate. You know, we're fighting bravely, but we're about to see that, you know, the Iron Guts can't do much against such reckless hate. Are, like, what's going on with these guys? Why won't they shoot? Will they please shoot at someone? Oh, because this was... Oh, my goodness. You know... Great. It finally charges forward and runs right into the Hell Pit Abomination. This is why I don't like gunpowder. Total disaster. You know, there's nothing to do about it, right? Like, what a stacked army. Even against just Ikit Claw's crazy stack, I don't know if we'd win. We might have been able to. But with the whole other army in there, yeah, just way too much. The good news is these guys started shooting right at the end of everything, so that's good news. These Iron Guts, man, you know, they fought very bravely. I bet some of them even got value. Alas, the fall of the Bretonnian force. Hey, they did their job, right? They pushed Ikit all the way back to Talia, basically. And, you know, we fought bravely. What are you gonna do? Run away, Gorgers! Run away! These Gorgers slink off into the woods to fight another day. These Gorgers don't. What a stack, right? Because this one's like a fine stack, you know? Storm Vermin, some artillery, some monstrous units. We'd be able to beat up on it, sure. But fine. And then Ikit shows up with the 11 Hell Pit A-bombs. Which we kill 0 of. We kill almost nothing, of course. Do almost no damage to Ikit's army. And then on the retreat, we all die. Yep, and it does kill all those heroes, so you know, the dreams of them with their stone horns running around and being awesome, they're gone. They didn't become immortal. They died instead. Alas. Yep, and they all get popped. And the hunter that is immortal that we've been trying to get to these armies, this poor level 20 hunter must have been wounded the last 30 or 40 turns. Oh, hello, Luke. Our crisis is the Greenskins. How lucky, right? But our immediate crisis was that we came over here. Did you see the tail end of that? Look at Ikit Claw's army. This is what's left of it. We killed a couple of pieces. We had to fight this army too. But look, that's so many hell pits. It's honestly pretty annoying. I did not know he had that army, or I would not have reached out over here. But I knew this army and this army were here. I think Ikit came in from the side. Yeah, I know, right? But, you know, he has lost Skaven Blight on the aftermath of this. So if you think about it, us coming in here and snagging Bretonia was good anyway, and sacking that army, even with the heroes, to make that work out is fine. Because pretty soon, the lands here are going to be awash in the awash. Because Grimgor's already strength rank 1, and the crisis hasn't even kicked off yet. But this is going to be the end of Queek Headtaker. I think this should be his whole faction right here. Faction destroyed. Clanmores. At last, we're going to be able to have an actual hero on the battlefield over here. The next time that level 20 hero comes out, we might even be able to get him in an army before somebody kills him. It's been so annoying. Say it's better when the Crisis faction's already doing well. Oh, I think so too, actually, because at least there, the forces are, like, sort of far-flung, and you don't run into a situation where they have, like, 12 of them there. 5 more armies do nothing. Exactly. I mean, it would be different if it was the Dwarves, because that was the one that we didn't want, you know. Not least because we finally got our Thunder Barge. We haven't used it yet. But also because, you know, they've been our friends the whole time, and it would be sad if they decided they didn't like us. And also because, you know, we've went through quite a lot of effort to make them secure in the world, and it would be kind of a bummer, but we haven't used this army yet. But here's, like, the Skrag army that we're thinking of anyways. You know, 3 Ghost Man-Eaters, 4 Lead Belchers, 2 Man-Eaters with pistols, Sky Strider ROR, couple Gyro Bombers, 1 Thunder Barge, 1 Thunder Tusk, 1 Iron Blaster. I feel like, you know, it's a nice little take-all-comer thing, you know. And then, of course, we've a Butcher of Death, really just because of the Skull Mantle thing for the -10 leadership. And Death's fine. And the thing is, too, is so, like, Spirit Leech with all the other effects of the discounts, it ends up costing just, like, 0.5 Winds of Magic after the discount. And everything is factored into the regeneration, so I feel like as a secondary caster that you don't care about, Death is the best one. And we just dropped the Gorgers because I figured we get 4 on the summon, and I wanted to get the pistols. Holy Dwarf Air Force, exactly, which was the plan all along. You know, the Dwarves, they know that we're their friends as far as they can throw us, but, you know, Gyro Bombers, we haven't ever, like, recruited any of the Dwarf Infantry. They, you know, they respectfully send their finest pilots, who I assume, like, camp out in the mountains, you know, far away from our boisterous feasts. Speaking of, I mean, we could start the brawl with Grimgor now. But we could also just do something else with our time. What happens to Dragon Fang Mount? Oh, tons of gemstone and an absolute sound of money as well. That much gemstone's probably worth... oh... 1,000, maybe more. Thunder Barge is where they land and refuel if they improved. Yes, brilliant. Yes, I love it. I love it. That's what we're calling it now. And really, you know, because it represents the dream of this whole campaign. And the Gyro Bombers in Skrag's force have, like, when we were fighting the vampires, they performed better than admirably, like, super well. I was like, where's the third army? I remember. It perished. It dwindled into nothing. It's alright. We're going to go ahead and recruit another dude here then. This guy's just wounded, you know. Well, we can just get a different guy and then swap him over afterward, right?
Ogre tyrant! Obey me or your dinner!
Alright, so first things, you get like a nice Thunder Tusk thing, yeah, obviously. And then I mean, these need to be like Greenskin fighting armies. Somewhat. We're already, like, we automatically start at a couple of chevrons. Couple 8 chevrons, which is just so good. And then we'll get a Yeeti and a Gorger, and then...
Tyrant! Hunter! I know of hidden paths.
And then before we know it, they'll be able to do something else too. We've got 80 points with Karekadrin. They're like sort of less amped to lend us units than some of the other ones. Like, all of our guys are from Clan Angrund. You know, which makes sense too. You know, we restored Clan Angrund to their rightful seat at 8 Peaks. And they have ever seemed grateful. And in just 2 turns, we will get the mountain kilns there and be able to put up a 3rd Ogre camp. Which is very good. Skrags will be like the only army that's like super premium, which is sad, but what are you gonna do, right? Alright, do we... I'm like, it's all about what would taste good, right? And would any of these guys be delicious? Are elves good? Thornkadrim would be, yeah, you know, they even as amazing dwarf friends as we are. In Belegar, I mean, due to the events of this game, you know me, I delight in basically nothing more than the restoration of the dwarves to their holds. Even if I have to fight them, I do it with great regret. But Skrag, we'll just loop up to the top and try to fight Archie or something. Or Arbel the Undefeated. You know, one of the premier dudes up here. Just try to find a brawl before everything kicks off. And obviously there's going to be some Skaven here. Oh, Clan Mulder. Shocking. And we're going to declare war on their whole alliance, because that's who we are. Huzzah! Good news, guys. I've drawn us into a big war with the forces of chaos. This couldn't possibly go wrong. To be fair, they were allied with Skaven, so it's not like... I mean, what do they want? Literally, what do they want me to do? They want me to show up somewhere next to some dwarf holds and be like, oh, hey, there's some Skaven living there. I just left, though. I thought you wouldn't want me to hit them with a hammer. Wrong. Wrong, they would want me to hit him with a hammer. I'm being a good friend. My Skrag's willing to sell it. Yeah, you know, not just to protect myself from annoyance and harm, but it does work for that. Alright, we need to figure out what to do in this brief period of time. I mean, obviously, we need to burn this place down. I mean, there's a Skaven faction there. Let's not forget that we are hammering them. We'll just drop over there and then probably just auto it, because, look, if we're being honest, I'm a little bit tired of beating down Skaven. And, I mean, we have 12 hell pits to fight over here. No, you know, Belagar with his forces, you know, of course, now that we've just opened this front in all of the wars, maybe that'll be bad. But this is pretty far away. They may not care. We'll see. Yeah, he's a real nice guy, you know, he just hangs out. If you ever want to raid him, he's fine. He never backstabs you. Just hangs out. But how funny, too. So it's like, this Skaven war, finally, you know, we're doing so great. Thoric Ironbrow is reunited. All of the premier dwarf clans and, you know, factions, like, everything is about to be right with the world. Ikit Claw is getting banished. You know, Clan Angren Ascendant, Clan Mulder going back, Clan Moors rooted out. As far as we know, it's all good, because I didn't tell them that we got that letter about Grimgor. But it looks like he is at least fighting, you know... Well, I mean, he's already fighting the Blessed Dread and stuff, so... He's gathering something to gush from the world. Yes, yes, I do recall. And this is like, hey... Trust me, this is important. I'm a silly little Skaven. Alright, and then we're gonna hit this guy. And we get a Talisman of Preservation. Lose some Ogre Bulls. And we just burn it down. That's the way to do it. Yeah, I guess Blessed Dread is... I mean, it says they're Strength rank 5, but so they're allied with Village and Zrazoth, and that's got to be Dakala. Yeah. Indeed. Filthy Rat. At this point in the campaign, you think we're going to trust any Skaven at all? No way. But it looks like Wolfric's on the back foot there, you know. Oh, look at that. Elgi actually doing something for themselves. Look at that. I'm like, who lives here? Why does that look green like that? Who lives there? Kislev, Kislev. Oh, it's got a Tanner place? Well, good news. I'm never giving it back. Look, missile block for all of my armies is just too good. I feel like attacking this guy to take his pottery for another camp. If it's green, it's probably Ilario. Oh yeah, good call. You know, you do see you're doing that well sometimes. I mean, all she needs to do is be chosen by the great rule of faction potential. It's so crazy that this fool is still alive. But I guess he's barely fighting anybody strong. I mean, he's doing great. He just beat up on Cetra and now he's chilling, I guess. And we get single turn local man-eater recruitment very soon. That's going to be excellent. Because single turn recruitment for man-eaters, man-eaters are what we want, right? Like, they're great units. So if you have access to recruiting them and getting to just get, like, your most elite guys in a single turn, that's always what you're looking for. Of course, it's still 3-turn recruitment for a Thunder Tusk. Just try not to lose them, right? But we're about to have some fun fights, right? We're going to be fighting... Oh, the biggest wah! It begins. It was not 10 turns. Okay, so the only thing we have to do is destroy them. That's the only part of the wah. Okay, I bet, you know, depending on what happens over the end turn, maybe with orcs, which I've never done the orc crisis before, maybe with orcs, everybody starts with Grimgor, you say, okay, yeah, so it just picks the biggest orc and gives it to them, or is it always Grimgor? Either way, I was thinking that we were going to have to deal with the resurgence of all the orc factions, so this is actually going to be quite nice. You know, because he was already crazy strong, of course. Like how with the dwarves, they all come back to life and they all do the thing. But alright, yeah, so sweet. We will run up here and bash with Skrag and then jump over and start fighting Grimgor. Biggest orc does make the most sense by far. That would be the crisis, right? That they all went and got the orkiest guy. It says destroy or vassalize them, but like... How would one vassalize them? To be fair, there's a setting you can do to allow diplomacy with the factions. That would just be the letting you do it. Anyway, let's carry on. Let's move to it. Let's get to brawling. Let's sack Prague. Now, doing the auto, we're avoiding it not just because I want to see the Thunder Barge in action, and not just because the Thunder Barge against Chaos in a siege setting is hysterically perfect, but also because I don't really know what's out there, and I don't relish taking massive amounts of damage and losing my beloved Thunder Barge. I think the Warcries the Vampire ones are the two weakest, and the Tomb Kings one seemed very weak also whenever it happened around me. These dudes have Vanguard? Are you joking? Oh man, that's so good. Alright, how do we do this? Like so, and then just like push in the front? Yeah. This tower is apparently not even working right now, so that's good news. Yeah, we'll just come in over the top there. And just go on the inside with the Thunder Barge and you know, see what happens. These towers, so I guess there's just a tower here and one tower there, so this is a very good side to go in on indeed. And the Air Force is already up here, shooting down happily on people that simply can't run away. Isn't it wonderful? We're just gonna go backwards here and fire at them, right? Tomb Kings went. Yeah, it's just it's quite easy to deal with. And then, of course, the other factor is that other people will often just deal with it before it gets there, because the biggest of them will just like hang out at the Black Pyramid and just chill forever. You don't really have to worry about it. Yes, target-rich environment indeed. And you know, that's really, whenever I was getting the Thunderbirds, I'm like, I'm gonna go up and fight them. You know, we are going to have our party. And we're gonna crack this wall right here. The summon in the breach could have been bad. I don't know why I did it. It's alright though, it worked out fine. The Gorgers look so awesome. And so too, I mean, do the Chosen, right? Like, I love Warhammer. I love it so much. Like, oh my god, like... Like, it's... Have you ever seen anything so beautiful in your whole life? It's so good! I love it. Anyway, time to look at the game again. Sometimes I'll look at the game and then I will come back to the game and realize that I've taken a lot of damage, but it's all good. We're doing fine here. Oh yeah, the Maw. Let's hit him with the Maw here. The Maw casts 4 winds of magic. 4. Count them 4. Like, it's so... This is a punchy army as campaigns go. Like, Skrag starts off pretty good, and he becomes outrageously good. 4 Gorger summons. Gorgers are good, right? Like, Gorgers are super solid, and Skrag gives them regen, like, map-wide on top of all the other stuff that's happening. The Maw is not just the Maw is a great spell. The Maw is crazy powerful, and to get it for 4 wins, it's supposed to be like 18. Like actually 18. And they're like, hey, would you like everything you ever saw? Good. I'm like, I lost the Thunder Barge. Is it dead? No, it's alright. It's just, you know, we didn't even bring the bulk of our forces in, but that's the power of the summons too. Like, they're really good. They don't disappear. And with Skrag's ability, you know, you can be very aggressive with them. There's 12 in the unit, so they all have what, you know, 800. That's not how to do math. 700 hit points. 650. Quite a lot. And you get out, they all come back to life, you know. Model of Thundermarcher Malachi. Now that you have the gyrocopters, the average track. Well, you know, that is the thing about Warhammer models. I'm like, let's get in here, right? No, they're about to get army lost. They definitely are, and I know they are, because of course they are. And this is getting shot by the tower here, yeah, you know, which... The Thunderbarge will just go on top of the tower and start dropping bombs on it. No. The tower is probably the only thing that can effectively do anything against the Thunderbarge here. But it's okay, we'll hit it with the Troll Guts. Oh, there's multiple towers shooting it. That makes more sense. But of course, Troll Guts works. You know, it's an immense heal on a unit with 12,000 hit points. So, you know, you just, there's your Lore of Life analog, you know. Gotta love it. Yeah, there were a couple of times where I was going to get, like, a Bane Blade, which isn't $300, but, you know, I mean, it might be close to it now, but I never ended up getting it, which is sad, because it's such a sweet model, but, you know. I was always thinking, you know, like, if they bring Lehman Roos back, but, you know, maybe they never will, or whatever. Lehman Roos is the Primarch of the Space Wolves. I don't know how much, you know, about 40k, but he's, like, they're my Space Marine faction. It's also the name of a tank for the Imperial Guard, which I have many models of. Well, not many. I think I got 3. Like 200 for Baneblade. Baneblades are so cool. But I always wanted to, like, flesh out more of my Imperial Guard, like, story and stuff with my models, even though I don't paint them very well. You know, I still like to look at them and daydream. And then, like, I started building, like, a Genestealer cult force, so all of the guard stuff I was doing, I'm like, how can I make this also, you know, really about the cult? The thing we care about. But yeah, so soon enough, we'll get that, and then upgraded Ogre charge, you know, you get 75% of your charge bonus even if you're charging something that's braced, which is hysterical. Like, you run right into it. Sure, I think they get the charge reflection, but, you know, when you still get all of your charge bonus against a thing that's supposed to be, you know, bonus first large thing, it sort of throws everything into a different relief.
My pogs are at your service.
I'm like, no, we don't. Zarina Katarine, look, you're cool, and I like you, but
you no doubt have a request.
You're clearly not making it. Alright, we need to give Vitivo to someone. I bet Franz has a ton of money. We haven't sold him anything in a while.
Be at peace, for that is all I ever want.
25 grand? Marvelous. Not including shipping, naturally. No, there's a store, like, you know, not next to me, but like it's not but 30 minutes away where I could get one if I ended up deciding that. But alright, so what we want to do now, I mean, 3 lead belchers, fine, right? Do we just get like iron guts it out? Do we get some pistols even though we're 2 turns from having 1 turn recruitment for the man-eaters, but that's fine, you know, it doesn't matter. We'll just do it, I guess. I actually really like the pistols against greenskins. I think that's fine. And an iron blaster would not have been out of place, but now I'm realizing that we don't have that building here where this thing is, because it's... Yeah, it's the iron blaster is at the... You know, you have to not get one building, and that's the one that we swapped for the stash hut. Which, you know, if you get enough of them, then you can get your lord and hero recruit rank up pretty high. And that's good.
This'll do the trick.
And that guy, we're just going to replace him, right? Right. Do we want to get another caster in there? We're going to get a maw caster. I mean, a fire one wouldn't be bad. But by the time these guys get engaged, you know, they might actually be able to level up again. Do we want to get him any kind of caster? I mean, not really. We'll just get another hunter. They can have like a 3-hunter army. Which, of course, if they get to level 15, that'll be great. Alright, let's move on. Alright, the firecaster is over here scouting. That's right, I remember.
Master Butcher.
Now we finally have a 3rd camp. Do we put it up where Skrag is, or do we send it to assist these guys down here? I'm inclined to say that giving it to these guys here is better, right? It gives them a place to jump off of. Skrag, I'm more inclined to think that army can, you know, take care of itself, because he's a raid boss, his magic is extraordinary, he's got the free summons, he's got the thunder barge. You know, he should be okay. But the other thing with the Baneblade is I've never actually magnetized a model before, and I would want to do it with that, and I was telling myself, and I still think it's a good thing. Like, you know, if you haven't figured out how to magnetize any model, why buy the expensive one and hope that you'll do it right, you know?
Ingredients. Lay out my cleavers. I am the tenderizer. My gut is law.
Alright, if we just spend a couple of turns, we can get Iron Fists, which isn't good, but is something. At that point, though, if we spend 2, we might as well spend 4 and get actually good things. So we can just get the bull, and then in a turn, yeah, we'll drop the camp here.
Meat ritual. Master Butcher.
Or maybe, like... Maybe we'll drop the camp up here, right? And then we'll be able to swap their troops to the Iron Guts over time, and that'll be fine. And these guys get the bulls there and there. You magnetize your Taro. Nice, nice. Yeah, I wanted to do it like with this like Thunderwolf cavalry group that I was doing. But I ended up just sort of being like, you know what, I'll just buy 3 more models, and then... so many of my stuff is so ragged, man, because I'm like, well, this is a storm shield that goes on this model, but I've got one, so I'm just gonna jam it on the arm here. Or like, these are some bike models that I found. I wanted to do Wolf Guard on bikes, which aren't a model anymore, and like they don't even let you make them anymore. But because you got all the weapon options, but they were on bikes, so they had this super fast movement. It was really cool. I didn't know anybody else that was doing it. It was just like a thing that I was doing back before they took it away, before Legends was a thing. I delighted in finding models that other people weren't using, like my Rough Riders, which I still have in my boxes of shame in the closet, hidden by the doors there, are my Warhammer models of shame that have not even been taken out of the boxes. The plastic's still on them. It's terrible. But because they finally put the Rough Riders in plastic. My Rough Riders that I made, you'll love this, because I didn't have any fantasy knowledge really. I bought Chaos Marauder Horsemen with javelins, because the Rough Riders had lances, and that's what I did. I just basically like left the Chaos Stars on them and was like, here are my Rough Riders. And it was awesome. Alright, we have an unusual location in Kemperbad, which is up here somewhere or something, which is over here or something, which is right here. Oh, it's a Purple Hand safe house. You could burn it down for 6k when it's the first one, so we're going to burn it down right now and just get rid of it. Yeah, but now they're like Attilan Rough Riders is what the models are, so they've got like the very, you know, sort of
Hunter's intuition.
White Scars kind of aesthetics, which I love. White Scars. I have like a small white, well, I was painting them like White Scars successors, the Primaris that I have. Because, like, without getting too much into it, like, I didn't want Primaris Space Wolf stuff, like, basically at all, and still don't. You know, I'm one of those. I'm one of those. So, do we want another Gyro Bomber here? Another Gyro Bomber would be real good against the, forces arrayed against us. But the longer we wait to fight, I mean, the longer we wait to fight, everybody else is going to beat up on Grimgor by the time we get there. Yeah, he's already lost like 7 settlements in a turn. I guess probably because like everyone declared war on him. But yeah, you know, if we don't get to him soon, we're gonna run out of war to have. That'll be sad. Alright, so can you just like, okay, this button, pack up camp, yes. We will pack up this camp, and then Skrag will have a camp. We'll give Skrag the lower level camp, and then this one can stay here in a nice safe place to send out new armies across the way. Yeah, I figured out how to play Ogres. It's turn 95. Good news, everybody. I figured out how to play Ogres. It's turn 95.
The slaughtermaster abides.
So now we've got 2 hunters here. This army is going to be so sweet soon.
In charge. Find me loot. Carve and ride.
And we're going to get sundering for man-eaters pretty soon, which is going to be very nice indeed.
The more asks it. Leader of the tribe. Keep moving or else. Later, where I say so.
And this guy has no
Boss.
hunters at all. We'll be able to trade one off. We'll give him the little one. It's like, man, one of these armies is so much cooler than the other one. It's really just the ROR presence plus gyro bombers, right? It'll be alright soon. We go to march here in a foreign, unscouted land. Why? Because I wanted to trade a unit across armies. This ends up being bad, whatever. I think it'll be fine, actually. Fine, because, yeah, it looks like Grimgor is getting trucked on pretty bad. You know, we picked a perfect time to defeat the Skaven, right? Not that Ikit Claw is defeated. Ikit Claw is still alive and probably has all of those friggin' rat horrors still, you know. One day we might have to deal with them. It's not going to be right now. Ikit Claw is somebody else's problem right now, okay? And hopefully it'll be a little while before he pushes over here again. And we're going to move there. More mass for all the armies is good. Yeah, Grimgor could never quite get rid of it. I think he got Astrogoth. Nope. Astrogoth is still alive here, yeah. He wasn't at war with them for a little bit. I think they pieced out before the crisis, yeah. And he just has these little 4 lands here. That's a shame. I wonder if Chorf tastes good. How's a Bale Taurus? Fiery and delicious.
Get inland. We'll meet there.
Yeah, you know, he might have got close a couple of times. And honestly, with us dealing with Clan Moors, that really let him focus more on it, right? Because, I mean, we fought Moors a long time. 40 or 50 turns, probably. Like, a long time. I am Sporticus. Oh, I am Sporticus. 10 melee attack and defense. You gotta love when you just get, like, a generically perfect thing, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess I'll just have this perfect thing. Skarbrand, of course, is still up, because that's the thing, is it's really hard for the AI to finish somebody off. You know, we should send this guy to finish Skarbrand.
The boss. The Moors wreck right.
His offerings were still active, even though he had been out of commission.
Master Butcher.
I think he got to level 20 as a result of the experience in the fight, and that is why he didn't die and the other ones did.
Master of awful. Guided by pain. Get it done. There, I said so.
We're just gonna trespass a little bit, I guess. I mean, like, who cares, right?
Always hungry.
We're really moving in here, you know. Hey, a fight. Now this will be a pretty sweet army. Nothing too crazy. We'll see how it goes. Ungrim is here with a very un-Ungrim army, a very ungrim army. I hate that I did it too, don't worry. It's like, does Skrag want to go and actually try to fight Grimgor and find him, or do we want to just go up here? Because these will be interesting fights with chaos and stuff. I mean, it won't take too long to bounce over there if the land is safe in between, right? Alright, so in conclusion, what's the most aggressive thing that we can do? We will underway here, and then if anybody wants to brawl, Skrag will fight any amount of armies that come and fight. Yeah. Chaos meat is exotic indeed. And what if they have, like, those weird snake things that Slanesh rides around, the champion things? Like, snake is a delicacy, right? I think so. And people will be like, are you talking about eating snake again? And I'm like, yes, I am a southern boy, and I like to eat snake. Can't get it everywhere. But we just need to distribute a bunch of levels real quick. It's probably going to be a lot of levels, but you know, you just gotta bite the bullet every now and then. Because you'll find guys, you know, that have 2 or 3 levels, and sometimes they're casters and it doesn't matter. And sometimes they're bruisers, and every point that you can spend is good, you know. Charge, good. Larger gut plate, good. 8 levels here on the hunter, you know. What's not to like? Yeah, 8 levels on that guy since the last time we noticed. And this guy is just a scout. Hey Neo, you want a larger gut plate? You know, it is good. Do the bruisers get the tech for better shields? I don't think so. Here on heavier gut plates, but yeah, I think it's only units with iron fists and not the bruisers who have iron fists. They are iron fists, right? It says so. Yeah, they just have a 20% one. Just get some nice cavalry. I have some crushers in some of the armies, but mainly I just, you know, I got 2 gyro bombers and a thunder barge. There's this Ikit Claw has an army with 12 Hell Pit abominations in it. That's where our one army went. Obviously, he's just taking his home back. Maybe Belagar and all those forces can deal with it. Maybe. Let's see if we get a big fight here. King Hippo from Punch as an Ogre. You know, that makes sense. He does have quite a frame on him. Speaking of incredibly large dudes, oh, the sumo tournament, it's so wonderful. It's a good time, you know, there's some bad things happening, some good things happening. It's sports, what are you gonna do, right? But the tournament so far that I've been watching is great. My very favorite wrestler, he's a huge fan favorite as well. He's not nobody thinks he's the greatest wrestler, but we love him for his spirit and his creative style, and you know, you know, everything like that. But so in sumo, you get prizes based on winning, but people sponsor you, right? Like that's how the prize money happens. Like businesses or individual like fan groups or whatever. And my favorite guy, Ura, he became this Basho. He's the guy who like has the most sponsors, which is, you know, that's never happened for him before, and it's just a cool little milestone thing. And it looks like we're gonna have a massive knockdown drag out here.
Follow the meat stitch. Consume.
At a minor settlement battle, well, it'll certainly be a knockdown drag out then. We're gonna bring them all in. Time to brawl.
Leader of the tribe. Let your hunger guide you.
Oh, so the whole camp gets to come back out as well. I thought you would have to recruit everybody. Well, that's good. That's pretty cool. He can't get here for a couple turns, though. But yeah, we just get this camp because this camp, you know, they still have the buildings, so they'll be able to help us out some, and then we'll just start. That would be the strategic move. What we're going to do, of course, is engage with a massive force and see what happens. We could give control of this to the AI. What would happen is we'd lose our gyro bombers. You know, why don't we just try to see what happens if I do it all myself? Now, the thing is when you're fighting against Greenskin forces like this, if you just have your lead belchers somewhere that you can shoot, which is easier on the outside than it is on the inside, you know, stuff like giants and such, you know, it becomes a lot easier to deal with. Of course, we do have flanking reinforcements that'll be coming in. 9 seconds for the Wa there. And 2 minutes there. So that army will come out. Oh, ours will already be out. We'll just wheel to fight them probably. Is there a place with 2 entrances? We've got... Yeah, so this will be really good if we want to approach on the bridge. If you put them into melee front armies, a benefit of this is into melee front groups, that is to say, a benefit of that is that when you move them, they won't all go to a single unit. If you say to attack, they'll try to spread out a little bit to other ones. We've got this guy on a hunter. He's not like a super quick one. You know, there's different levels of power when it comes to these things, but we're just going to push right in, right? So they've got the armored orcs here, but like we're just gonna dive, and then they're gonna be, you know, wondering, hey, wait, when did they all get inside? That's illegal. We actually take a pretty massive volley there. Might have been. Oh, it's from this level 4 catapult tower, is what it is. the catapult tower is actually doing incredibly good work against us. We're just gonna charge it anyway, because at this point, I mean, we can't not charge in anyway, right? Like, we actually have to. In a minor settlement battle, we don't get the ability to do the shatter thing. I think with collision attacks, you still do really good damage against barricades. This guy, trying to get inside, is now running around the super far away. Good for him. Chalice here on the Night Gobbo archers. And while these orc boys theoretically were happy about that dive, you know, they got much less happy about it with time. This reinforcement set isn't actually getting in at all. We're gonna drop a comet right here. This is gonna do so much damage. Show me the money. Show me the money. Comet's got a massive wind-up, and that's because it pays off like that if you get a hit with it. We're going to give the big heal to these Ogre Bulls for no other reason but because they were the lowest. Lead Belcher's not doing anything, as is tradition. Let's shoot the tower, right? At least there's that we could do. Alright, we're going to drop another comet on these fools. We just need to break this barricade, and then... Got a big boss over here. We're gonna go fight or die. We're gonna pop everything, and we're gonna drop the Tormentor Sword. Put him into still mode. And then lay the beat down on them. Boglars of the Mad Marshes doing their mad little dash there. We are gradually getting the barricade down, and this blob fight is not going so well, right? I mean, we're just throwing guys in. We don't have any... Well, they're also tied up behind this thing here. And our Lead Belchers are still not doing anything. I hate them so much. What a unit that is amazing in one format of the game and absolutely unplayable trash in another. You can't do anything with them, or they're the best thing in the whole universe. It's so annoying. This hunter being totally tuned up, probably because we're getting shot by these arrows. Yeah, all of these archers have done nothing but fire this whole time. Can we push through? No? Can we? Man, I'm so bad at this game. Like, can anybody act right? No, because I'm in control. Yeah, these guys are just, like, not hitting this. Now they're pretending to think about doing it. You know, if they've done about 100 hit points of damage in the last 10 years... Hey, the Lead Belchers are shooting those, so at least there's that. Man, I'm so bad at this game. But to be fair to myself, not like I feel like being fair to myself, but to be fair to myself, gunpowder is hot trash in any situation except sitting still. And even then, it barely works. But, you know, we might be losing this fight for all I know. But we also might be about to army loss them. If anything, it's been the least pretty fight of all time. A field battle would have been 100 times more fun, and it would have made sense. This was ugly. Mountain Dew, yeah. I love Mountain Dew. I don't know what it's supposed to taste like, but I sure do like it. And of course, high quality H2O. But I guess a lot of, I'm like, no, like, some of these were Iron Guts in here, too. I'm like, maybe it's because they were Ogre Bulls. I'm like, no, it's because we, well, I mean, they're in there against Trolls and Giants and stuff. This is hardly an advantageous fight. And, of course, we're all sitting there. Can they shoot it? Like, are they, can the Lead Belchers shoot a barricade? I'm gonna lose my mind. They're actually good at it. Did I already learn this in the campaign somewhere? It's still pretty annoying. Anyway. Well, we didn't cheese them. We fought them in the trenches. An ugly fight. Oh, this guy is almost dead. Oh, because of the tower. He'll be alright now. Oh, it's the Lord who has the restock, yes. Well, you know, at least the Gyro Bomber got, you know, got to do some work. And we win! I mean, nearly. What an ugly fight. What an incredibly ugly fight. Oh, and now they're all here. I'm like, but y'all don't know this Fire Belly. He'll just cast a bunch of fire magic on you. It might even work too, because like these are trolls. We'll just burn them all. Yeah, he just flips out and actually breaks the whole blob. Plus, you know, the range support. But hey, they broke that. Maybe we should cast spells at it. The thing is we have access to so much Winds of Magic through our various effects. But like, how are they still in it? I guess they did have the massive armies. They're gonna have to be fleeing soon, right? Yeah. They just have all these reinforcements that still could show up, but... The gyro bomber charges in. Very intimidating stuff. When the helicopter attacks you with melee, that's when you know that you should probably consider giving up, right? We did it. An entirely messy battle, really showing the flaws in the settlement map system. No, I mean, if the idea is to be able to force the attacker into frustrating choke points, you can do that. And depending on their magic set and who you are, you know, it can be really good. You know, you could take a setup like that with, you know, just a couple... I mean, it's like Grom the Punch alone, even against Ogre's probably okay.
It is the war's house.
You got the Dragonfire handgun.
Ogre tyrant.
That guy has the Outriders one. We'll give it to this guy. And they all get a halfling cookbook.
More flesh will be carved.
You know, 3K settlement maps, I quite agree. They...
Ogre tyrant. All mine.
Well, I feel too like, you know, the characters, they behaved a lot better. Oh, the camp that we used doesn't even have the good stuff in it.
The boss.
That's right. Well, that's okay. Whatever. They won't get the man-eaters, actually. I mean, they wouldn't have been able to. Anyway, so this camp gives us, you know, base level stuff. Blah.
Master of awful.
Oh, and he's recruiting his own stuff, which we don't even need him to do.
I am the tenderizer.
Although, at least with Iron Fist being silver shields up from, you know, bronze ones, it's a lot more. 35 to 50, you know, pretty good.
Master abides. I'm having a break. More's chosen.
But you ask, this game available on Steam? Yes, absolutely is.
You lot stink in this heat.
That is where I play it.
Spreading discipline. The Godmouth's command. Butchery awaits. Butchery. The more.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, Clan Mulder was already almost on the whole way out.
Skrag.
He has one place that's not this. Shame. You know, our Grand Alliance, doing pretty grand.
How are things?
If we can get him to join us, that would be super funny. He's only 30 away. Yeah, no, this is one of my most played games. I'm not very good at it. You know, there's a lot to it. There's lots of different factions. They all play pretty differently from each other, and even within the factions, they can be really different as well. You know, a couple of 1,000 hours in the trilogy overall, and I still haven't played everybody. And honestly, I'm not that close to having played everybody, let alone won with everybody. But we did just get the victory with our ogres for the first time this time, and I learned a lot about playing ogres through this. I actually thought we had lost the campaign, but I didn't know how some of the stuff works. Yeah, Gold's cheery, you know, because he's got the best hats. He has nothing to be sad about.
You dare order me? It helps the hunger.
We go here and go to ambush, right? And then I think maybe then we can assist anyway. We're just trying to get somebody to move over so that we can pop them. And this guy's just going over here to deal with Skarbrand, if he can. He might get there and get immediately popped. We should have sacked that for money, although at this point it doesn't matter. Crookback Mountain, which doesn't even have the mine. As Grimgor, like, how much has he lost just, like, in those turns? Yeah, he's lost 4 more in a turn. He's just getting eaten up, just absolutely ripped up. But of course, a lot of our faction doesn't have anything to do but look at him now that we've isolated some of the threats. Because the thing is, like, when Moors fell, so too did all of the worries for the dwarves about that whole side, and Thoric Ironbrow showed up right then too, which, you know, how fortuitous. And we're hoping this guy walks into our ambush. They haven't discovered ambush yet. They have now.
What news?
Vladimir Prvak of the Ungol kindred. Well, you know. It's like, what do we want to do now? I mean, well, fighting Wolfric could be fun, because, like, we don't need to worry about, you know, the Greenskins. As we've said, like, we can deal with that later. Yeah, let's just dive in over here and start fighting, right? Deploy a camp, like, in the center of Norska, see what happens. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Anybody live here? If not, why not? It cost 80. There's got to be some other. No, I guess just with the effects inside, yeah, you can get a man-eater for cheaper than an ogre bull at the camp here. I guess they just probably have like a 15% reduction or whatever from the tree, right? Yeah. Pretty funny stuff.
My gut is law. Tyrant. There, I said so. The boss. Shoot, shoot. Bring me ingredients.
Alright, it's the iron mining pits, and there you can get iron guts, lead belchers, and iron blasters from the place, as well as the armor, which is like, it's such a good place if you can find one, right? You get an iron thing early on as an ogre, and now between an iron blaster and lead belchers and iron guts, you could probably play your whole campaign and be happy. I know I could. I didn't start using the iron guts until a little bit later on, and they're so good. Right now they have 125 armor, 69, 67 in melee attack and defense when they're all the way souped up, 122 melee strength, you know, 60 speed, ogre charge, unyielding assault, so they never get less attack. I mean, all the ogres get that through the tree, but still, you know, it's good. I actually really enjoyed this campaign, although it was sort of like haphazard at the beginning, but like ogres fit into like my idea of like the joyous freedom of a Total War campaign really well. You know, the ability to kind of go and do what you want, to make friends with kind of who you want, the ability to change the world around you, you know. Plenty of factions that I like a lot, like vampire counts, just by virtue of being who they are, can, like, you really struggle if you want, like, some people to be your friends. They never want to be. Exactly. We go where we do. We go where we want. We pay people and catch up. It's all a party. I'm like, alright, this guy... Azazel only has 2 places, so let's burn down him first, you know, let's isolate these fools.
What? All here are honored dwarfkin. On the...
give him Spite Peak. He can pay us for it now, right? Yeah, 16's good enough. Not that I need money. The Grand Alliance. And Ikit Claws, just like a total menace. I don't think the auto resolve is ever going to favor Belagar again. We might have to go and help him ourselves if we want to. I guess we're going to take the Gates of Ekrund here. While we're on the subject of being the best friend the dwarves have ever had, I guess we'll just put some stuff up in Ekrund and then return it to him. Here we are at the gates of the mountain. Oh man, that song's so good. As long as we hold together, then the gates will not fall. What a good sentiment, right? The promise of fighting shoulder to shoulder, where you just say, we're not going to give up, and because we won't, we're going to win. And then, of course, the tragedy of being wrong about it. The story of the dwarves.
Ogre Firebelly. Ogre Butcher. Bruiser.
We're just getting so many abilities all around here, but getting like level 2 mentor on some of these guys is better than good, right? Because now his hunters, you know, with all those other mentors rolling, all we gotta do is get into a couple of fights. And who knows where they'd end up.
My good partner writes.
Oh, I totally could have moved to attack there. Anyway, it grows late. Yeah, we got time for one. Huh. Now they have flingers, which is like, okay, but we also have choke points, which for lead belchers is very nice indeed, because we'll just here, and then if they want to come across, it'll be pretty easy to get what we need done.
Together. Don't worry about what they might do to you. Worry about what I'll do if you lose.
So let's It's like, I'm not sure where their artillery is, but if it's kind of far away, that's totally fine for us. Because if they're trying to go this far away, that is going to be so unwise.
Biggest in the tribe. Meat. Looking for meat.
Because I'll just run away from these fools. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid to run away from them. Lead belchers open up. We're gonna wheel to fire there. Beautiful. And they've split the whole army down this way and put the spiders up top. Well, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for them. Campaign we doing after the Skrag? You think Lizardman could be neat? How do you feel about Nakai the Wanderer? And now we are fighting, yeah, we're fighting spiders with, you know, with large units, which is a choice. I mean, if you fight them with any units, they're going to be large units as the ogres, right? We could just be shooting them, though. Because I cannot express how much we do not want to actually be fighting Arachnaroks with these dudes. 82 melee attack? Oh my god! They are juiced Arachnaroks. Thing is they're diving on the lead belchers right now. We don't really have anything to stop them from doing it. I'm like, oh yeah, the gyro bomber in the back. That would help. We're gonna wheel to fight the biggins here. The shaman gets absolutely dumpstered. And we end up abandoning the spider fight. They're still shooting at us. I probably should have just shot at them and not engaged the anti-large monsters with my large units. But no, I'm not sure. I was thinking of maybe playing a Three Kingdoms campaign next for Total War. But I think, you know, we're going to try actually a non-Total War strategy game for a little bit. There's this one called Tempest Rising, and I think that's going to be the next little strategy thing we try out. It's supposed to be like inspired by, you know, the people's love of Command and Conquer Red Alert, which I love a lot too. So we'll see how the love shines through, right? Yeah, we definitely just need to shoot at the Arachnaroks with lead belchers, who do very well against them. running a bunch of Ogre Bulls and Iron Guts into them was not the answer. Yeah, they... really extreme units. I mean, into city builders, I haven't played one in recent years, but I used to play like SimCity on my Super Nintendo, the family Super Nintendo, and I loved it a lot. And abstractly, I think that sort of thing is a lot of fun. I might have City Skylines. I know that was like one of the new hotnesses, what, 15 years ago when it came out or whatever. I think I own it, but I never played it or anything. So now, yeah, sundered armor on. Oh, they get sunder armor on the missiles for the man-eater pistols as well through tech. Now that's very nice, isn't it? Of course, you get it at the end of the tree, but we'll be able to fight Azazel, who, you know, due to the amazingness of ogres as well, being able to mess with the enemy's ability to replenish is so advantageous. You know, because they get really big bonuses to that on this difficulty rating, but if... Hey, oh, it's the big guy. And he's in March. If we catch him, could we kill him? I mean, yeah, sure. You hit a bruiser and a hunter and a giant on top of him, and they could kill him. Probably. He's only level 45. He's only Grimgor Ironhide. I know who Grimgor is. I know he could probably do it, but, you know, we could also bring the Eshin Maneater in, you know, hit him with the old abilities. Puncture the armor, wound the sensibilities. Not right now, though. That'll be next time. Of course, we see him right there. We're
It's what I want. Make sure I don't die, right?
we're about to be right there on him. He's running scared from someone. Of course, beating him, like, that's, you know, the ultimate campaign victory or whatever, but... the real victory is the one in our hearts when we finally learned how to pick up a camp. Maybe I should stream a city builder at some point. You know, I will think about putting it on the short list. You know, we've sort of in between a lot of games. I've got some that we're thinking about playing tomorrow, or today rather, you know, as we're ending today. First of all, can I just say, what a blast of a campaign. If I knew how to play it better at the beginning, I don't know if I would have had a better time. I still had a great time, you know, but, like, certainly, like, my not understanding the army that I eventually wanted to get to made it a lot more fun to play. Being able to, like, lean on, you know, tigers a little bit was nice. Using, you know, birds against Skaven a few times was cool. The gyro bombers in Skrag's army for quite a lot of the campaign were so good against vampires, man. The lore of bombs, when we were just, like, absolutely just shrekking over there. It must have been, like, what? Like 500-600 infantry in the blob that were coming in, and we were just, like, dropping the entire bomber payload there. Great stuff. But thanks for the idea on the city builder, Neo. We will think about it. You know, I got some stuff on deck. We'll see, though. I've got like 50 games installed, and I look at them and I'm like, what'll I do? And I'm like, play Total War. But, you know, We might play more of this tomorrow. It just sort of depends on how I feel. You know, certainly the next time we play Skrag's campaign, if we revisit it, and we probably will, the next time we play it will probably be the last time, you know, because we'll have gone around, gotten into some chaos fights, you know, and got to see that, fought Norska, you know, like gotten to taste the different enemies, defeat Grimgor and shame him before all and sundry, that kind of thing. But there's also my hardcore Diablo thing that we're starting again, you know, with the sorceress. That one's a lot of fun. Maybe we'll play some of it, and you know, maybe we'll throw a curveball, play something new or something old. It's impossible to know. I don't know anything about the future other than it's probably going to happen while I'm not watching. I'm gonna go to bed, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed. Later, Neo. Later, Hambone. Later, Luke. Good to see all of you. Later, Orange Dude. Is nice hanging out, having a little party here. A couple of fun fights, and that Ikit Claw fight where he brought 11 hell pits. It's quite a stack. I could think of an army that could deal with it, but is it just 11 star dragons? It's rough. I mean, the game doesn't always throw that at you. It's funny stuff, though. I was not expecting it. I was not prepared. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, guys.